Okay, new video today. Um, I did. I have a cold call video that I'm trying to figure out how to post, but I recorded it the same way I did before the first time, but it didn't work. So whenever I did it in three different versions or three different clips that are both like 20 minutes each, and they're not sending. So I gotta figure out how to convert it from my iPad to or my auntie's iPad to my phone in order to just like do a little edit and then post it for you guys. But mm, for today, I'm gonna be talking about ignorance and how it's okay to be ignorant. But once you're aware of your ignorance, to as soon as possible become knowledgeable. Because everyone on this earth is everyone on this earth is arrogant to something. Um, the reason why I say that is because we don't know everything, and the best way to figure out if someone is more they tell the truth than or they tell the truth or they're honest and not lie so much is when they say they know when they don't. Why? Because I'm gonna be honest. I used to lie a lot. I used to say I know a lot. Till some people said, "No, you don't know a lot," and kind of hit me in the face. People were very blunt to me, saying, "Why are you lying?" So take it from a guy with experience. Um, but that was my past. That's who I was because of the things that were going on in my life. Even though I might have done good in other areas, but that was one area I was lacking in. And I was arrogant to my lying. I was very arrogant. I didn't understand that I was lying. I didn't know I was lying. And even the times I knew, I suppressed that awareness into a lie. I ended up believing my own lies to a certain point. And I was very ignorant to that fact. And the best way to say anything that you don't know is, I don't know. And if you do know, say what you do know, and what you don't, just say you don't. Don't try to fit in. Don't ever try to fit in, ever, ever, ever. If you like somebody and you're saying you know something when you don't, that is an area for them to like you more because I'm just thinking about this now. They're going to have to explain to you something they love or they like doing, if it is. And if you don't know and it's a hassle to explain, then if you really like this person enough, go learn about it. Come back to them, speak with it. And if you end up learning more about it, you guys can piggyback off each other. But generally, people, if you don't know something and you say, "Oh, I don't know, what was it about?" And if they're very passionate, they're gonna talk about it. And it just shows that you're a very honest person rather than because everyone's gonna say they know and they're just gonna like if you're let's say going on I'm Muslim, so I'm not gonna date, but if I'm like actual dating, but if I'm talking to somebody I don't know, girl or guy, but if let's say someone I'm interested in, and let's say I watch anime, but let's say they're talking about a certain anime I never watched or I used to watch, I don't watch that as much anymore, but and I don't know it, and they you can tell that's an intriguing. I'm just gonna say, oh, I don't know. If they're like, oh my god, and they don't want to explain it because it's too much, then just change the next topic, or this person can't have a conversation as much. And if they do love it, you can go into that. Um, that's the whole conversation for them to want to, because people like to teach. Everyone's naturally a teacher because they explain. People like explaining things, they like rambling on. So do that. But yeah, arrogance is sometimes a good thing as well. Arrogance is it, or is it ignorant? Am I thinking of the same thing, or am I thinking of something opposite? Ignorant, I think, is the word I'm looking for. Let me search that up so I am not being a dummy. Ignorance, lack of knowledge or information. Okay, so ignorance is the one I'm saying arrogance. Arrogance, ignorant, arrogant. The quality of being arrogant, arrogance, arrogant. Having or revealing an exaggerated sense of one's own importance of abilities. Okay, yeah, sorry. Ignorance. So everything I just said, it's ignorant. Sorry. So yeah, um, be ignorant. It's fine. You know when people say be the dumbest person in the room so you can learn? Obviously, don't be the dumbest person in the room with dumb people. You don't want to have that. but be the dumbest in the room with a room of people that you want to learn from. It can be somebody in sports, somebody who goes to the gym who's been in it for 15 years, and it's okay to be arrogant when I say, "Oh yeah, I know." And it's okay to say what you know, and for them to be like, "Oh no, you're wrong," because then you figure out what you're doing wrong. I went to the gym recently, and this guy, he's like 35. This guy's ripped, and when I mean ripped. His chest was puffing out here, double D's type of rip. And I just went up to him. I'm trying to do this thing where I put myself out there more, like kind of like those people that do 100 days of rejection, or um, what's it called? 100 days of rejection, or that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So I try to take more shots, even when it comes to like women too. Like for me, like what I'm doing now is like if I think someone is attractive or whatever it is, I'm Muslim, so I'm not gonna like take it any further for whatever it is. But if I think this, like especially if they're respectful and all that kind of stuff, and I actually want to get to know them, then maybe. But just go up to them and be like, "Hey, I think you're very attractive, very beautiful, or I think you're cool. You seem cool. Whatever it is that comes to mind, and do it." And it's been working. It's really been working. Just putting myself out there in any situation that I usually wouldn't do. Like, who the hell is gonna go up to, um, like somebody in the gym, and be like, "You have an amazing physique." It doesn't happen very often. So I just want to like when I see it, and I feel like I can learn from somebody because obviously people love talking about themselves or talking about what they've achieved. And this guy was just telling me about how lean he is and how much of a dog he is, and how like, it was funny mid conversation. I was telling him what I do. And he said, "That's the difference between me and you. We're not the same." I was like, "Oh damn, my fault, OG." And he was just telling me like what he does, and it doesn't necessarily have to work for me. But learning his regiment kind of made me like, I'm not gonna lie. He was saying like if he talks to people in the middle of the gym, like his session should last only an hour and a half. Sometimes it goes to 2.5, 3 hours because of people talking with him. And he says when someone talks to him, and he was even saying like even like you right now, and I kind of felt bad, but he said it don't feel bad, and he was like it makes me want to push myself even harder because I rested longer than I should have. So I do more reps or more something, whatever. I was like, damn. And he said told us like push yourself, all that kind of stuff, but in a different way than I've heard before. And right after that, I was doing because I'm doing a thing where I'm never skipping legs because I always skip legs, and I was I just went on there and I was like telling myself this is lightweight, this is nothing, and I'm like pushing myself to the end of the brink. And people a lot of times when they say like when I want a machine and they're on it, this is another thing like people say, oh, we can work in. And if I'm really focused on my workout and I don't want to wait, because I like taking 15, 30-second breaks. I don't use my phone. I barely get on my phone. I would go to the gym. So for me it's like I just want to be in there and out and push myself, because I feel like if I wait too long the weight's going to feel light as if when I first started. I want it to be harder each set, but same weight. And one guy that I see every so often, I end up buying, yeah, sure, just because like kind of talked to his friend a little bit, and so I was like, all right, why not, you know? And he showed me a way to destroy my quads. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna start doing this now, and it made me think of how I can push myself to failure more than I usually do. Um, so yeah, that's like, bro, don't. It's okay to be ignorant. It's okay to go in there and just ask. And even if this person doesn't have experience, don't take every information and run with it. Like the guy, he said do it, and I was like, I've seen people do it. I don't want to do it, but because I tried it and it worked, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this now because why not? And so take those steps into being ignorant in certain situations. It's completely fine. Um, there's no harm in it. Um, really try to push yourself to the best of your ability because no one else is going to push you. You can only push yourself. So that's all I can really say about that. Is like it's you versus you, really, And if you are just gonna tell yourself you know everything when you don't, then you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna grow. If someone says, "Oh, do you know about construction?" and you say yes, and they start rambling about something else, and you don't know what the hell they're talking about, you just missed a whole thing of information that probably could have helped you in any way, or shape, or form. You never know. So focus on those things. Just focus on focus on being honest with yourself and being saying I don't know. And that's that, really. No, nothing. There's nothing else to this video. Is it's okay to be ignorant until you're aware and what you do with it. Because like everyone's life path is different. I could be ignorant and not understand how to do a certain workout, and now that I'm aware, and if I don't try it, oh God, and that now if I don't try it, it's fine if I don't try it. But now I'm not ignorant to it anymore. But now I just have the choice whether to do it or not. Like I could be ignorant in the fact of how to go to the gym, how to start, and how to do cardio. Like people say, "Oh, just go for a run. Oh, just eat good food." But it's very simple and it's very understandable. Vegetables, homemade food versus what's it called, Chick-fil-A. But even then, you could have house food and you have like about almost 3 cups of rice and like one only have like a chicken thigh and a leg, but the chicken protein is not doing too much, and you're eating a calorie surplus, and you're having something similar like that almost every meal. And it can be in different stages. Like a lot of beans has probably a good amount of protein, but too much of it is a lot of calories in itself. So there's that. So just focus again. Or focus on becoming aware and what you're ignorant to, and then learning that, and then taking your awareness and putting it into something positive that can help you. And if it doesn't end up helping you that instant, maybe try it maybe a couple more times. And if it's not working, then that's fine. Now you know that that didn't work for you. Imagine you went your whole almost half your life or your whole life not trying something because you didn't, and not knowing if it worked for you or not. Like let's say I never try, let's say, doing a certain tricep workout, and my triceps, for me personally, like it's hard for me to grow my triceps because I feel like I haven't found a perfect workout for it yet. And there's so many tricep workouts out there, and if I see someone doing it, I don't try it. I'm like, damn. Even you can look at somebody doing it and do it, and if you're doing 100% wrong, that's completely fine. At least you're aware of that workout, and now you can go search for it and see how good it is. Or you can even go up to that person and say, "Yo, I saw you do it, and I tried it. Can you see if my form's good? Can you tell me how I'm supposed to do it? What I'm supposed to think about?" And just learn. Like, what? And let's say you did it, and that's what grew your tricep or your back or your calves or whatever the heck it may be. So, just it's okay to be ignorant. It's okay to be ignorant as long as you are using the information understandably. And think about it. Let's say you hurt someone's feelings, and instead of saying, "Well, this is what happened and this fact and this is it," they could be you could be they could be 100% the person who wronged you or whatever it is. But if you understand how they feel, you understand how to gauge that conversation or that situation in the future with that person. You become knowledgeable and not ignorant to how to do something, on how to treat it so that thing doesn't happen. Because you went up and you asked them, you took that shot and asked them like, "Hey, I'm sorry if I did this, or I don't know how you hurt me, but I want to understand how, or communicate how we can figure this out, and how you can understand how I felt and how I can understand you felt, so we prevent it." And sometimes it's not going to happen instantly, but if you're aware when you're doing it, you can be like, "Oh shoot," rather than not being aware. How many times has someone hurt you, wronged you, said something, done something to you, or whatever it is, and they were just ignorant, which is fine because they don't know. But then if you tell them and they continuously to be ignorant after telling them, or they're aware and they choose to be ignorant, then that's just like, okay, now you know what to remove from your life. That's like another way when it comes to people. So it's like there's so many good stuff that comes with being ignorant, sorry, and how to combat it and how to make it even work best for you. Because like, bro, like what I've realized is a lot of wealthy people, they love ignorant people. Why? Because they can teach. Why do you think the best of the best, or one of the best people like Warren Buffett, he's done all this stuff, and he hasn't documented his life or anything, but he had one of the best quotes, one of the best ways of investing and best outputs, because it's like people have information, they want to give it. Some people want to conceal it. A lot of people want to conceal certain information, but there's some way that they're teaching it to somebody or explain it to someone who's ignorant. So it's okay to be ignorant, but once you're aware, what are you going to do with it? And then how are you going to give it to other ignorant people? Are you giving it to the right ignorant people as well? Are you telling somebody, like, when you learn something, are you just wasting your energy talking to somebody that's not going to give a crap about what you're saying? Or are you giving your energy to someone who's going to try to be understanding or wants to learn what you're talking about? So there's that. But yeah, that's the end of the video. It's okay to be ignorant as long as you are smart with it, as long as you use it to the best of your ability and use it as a tool. And that's all I have today. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you guys have a good one.